Hello and welcome to CoreTV News at 4. I am Olajibokil Latuji. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the sack of the chairman of the FCT Internal Revenue Service, Secondary Education Board, and the Universal Basic Education Boards. An indication to this was contained in a letter sent to the FCT Permanent Secretary, John Chukwu, by the Secretary to the Federal Government. The SGF noted that the Federal Government's directive on the dissolution of governing boards of all government parastatals and agencies also apply to the boards of the FCT agencies. The Permanent Secretary has consequently directed the former chairman of the FCT Internal Revenue Service to hand over all duties and responsibilities of his office, as well as government's belongings in his possession, to the Director of Treasury, FCT. He also mandated the chairman of the Secondary Education Board and Universal Basic Education Board to hand over all duties and responsibilities of their offices, as well as government property, to the directors, secretaries of the boards. Labour activists on Thursday embarked on a joint rally round major roads in the nation's capital to show solidarity for the anti-corruption stance of President Muhammadu Buhari. The peaceful rally, which started from the Unity Fountain, saw the activists visiting the EFCC headquarters before moving to the National Assembly complex and the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The group was received at every point by top officials of the various institutions and establishments. Patiaye reports.
As early as 7 a.m., they had gathered at the Unity Fountain, which was the rendezvous point. Among them are past and serving leaders of the labor union. Some had on the colors of the various affiliate unions, while others chose the traditional red bib of organized labor. And just before they set out, the NLC president and others were on hand for some pep talk.
This is a struggle for a new Nigeria. This is a struggle for good governance. And this is a struggle against corruption. We are here because our laws are very weak. Corrupt official, if you steal even 100 billion, at most you only get 2 years of jail, or you part with only a fraction of what you have stolen. And you'll be allowed to go and continue to enjoy your ill-gotten wealth. No more. We have seen this in the case of Atiku Kigo, who stole 32 billion of Nigerian pension funds, and what he got was 2 years imprisonment or 750,000 naira fine. Is that what we want?
This rally is one of those rallies to strengthen those institutions and to fight corruption. You know, corruption is endemic and it needs to be killed. And just like the president said, if we don't kill corruption, corruption will kill us. All the sectors of this country are suffering because of corruption. And for me, in the National Assembly, I feel that those institutions, my primary aim and the National Assembly primary aim now should be laws should be revealed to the extent that those institutions will be strengthened.
We don't want a neoliberal policy through the back door that has actually led to more and more corruption in our country. We want people-centered development programs that will raise the standard of living of Nigerian people, that will make all our social services, education, health, everything to work.
Then it was time to visit the EFCC, where the chairman of the anti-graft agency played host to the group.
I want to assure you that with this our hands have been straightened, and we will do our best not to disappoint you. We will continue to do what we are doing, and we shall go home and be very comfortable that the Nigerian Labour Congress and all the affiliate unions are solidly behind us. I think this is the time for all Nigerians to speak with one voice. Yes. Corruption has continued to slow down the pace of the corruption of our country. We cannot afford to do that.
Next port of call was the National Assembly and the SGF's office, where some of the participants could be seen climbing over the gate at the main entrance. Inside the complex, letters were presented to representatives of the Speaker and Senate President.
Just like the executive arm of government has come up with an articulated policy against corruption, for instance, it has set up a committee under Comrade Professor Ises again to recommend ways of fast-tracking the anti-corruption fight. House of Representatives has not only noted this patriotic initiative, but we are also coming up with a coordinated approach to reinforce what the executive arm of government is doing and to answer to the clarion call and demand of Nigerian workers and Nigerian people generally.
The peaceful solidarity march may have been concluded, but many Nigerians are of the view that enough words have been spoken already, and the time for action is now. Basiaye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
In Kaduna, Labour activists converged in the government's house to drum up support for President Muhammadu Buhari. It also flooded Governor Nasir El-Rufai to clear the air on rumors of his death after a 10-day-long absence from the public. He told the workers that those who wish him dead are enemies of the state who were not happy with the discovery of the 24 billion naira of public fund and his land recovery initiative. Amina Nebi has more in this report presented from our studios.
These are members of the workforce in Kaduna State who have decided to stage a solidarity rally in support of President Buhari's war against corruption. Governor El-Rufai made his first public appearance in 10 days at the rally and promised to pay civil servants their salary before the Eid al-Fitr celebration. He plans to use the money discovered during the verification process.
We are public servants. We are elected to serve you, the people. So I have absolutely no problem being your messenger to take this to President Muhammadu Buhari, who is the #1 public servant of Nigeria. He is also working for all of us. I want to assure you that I will also follow up on these suggestions to prod and remind the President to implement your suggestions. Here in Kaduna, I want to express on behalf of the government our appreciation for your continuous support. I have read some of the placards you brought, and I'm very, very grateful for your support.
Labour leaders in the state expressed happiness and belief in the new government.
Yeah, we came out for this protest in order to support the quest for the anti-corruption crusade started by His Excellency, the President of the country. And we are here to give the letter, and we have given the governor the letter for onward transmission to the president, and we are sure it will get to him.
His trade union Congress counterpart explained the rationale for the rally.
It is very necessary to note that without the support of the Nigerian workers, the aim and objective of eliminating corruption in Nigeria will never be achieved. That is why the working class in Nigeria, and in Kaduna in particular, decided to give this support to the present administration to wipe corruption tendencies in the running of government at both local, state and the federal government.
The rally was largely peaceful as security operatives were on hand to provide protection for the labor activists and their civil society partners.
The Nigerian Labour Congress and its counterpart Trade Union Congress in Kwara State organized a peaceful rally in support of the anti-corruption crusade by President Muhammadu Buhari. The Solidarity March cut through Ilorin Metropolis and terminating at the state government house to register their support for the campaign against corruption by President Muhammadu Buhari. Our correspondent Rashid has more.
The Kwara State chapter of Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress marched in a solidarity rally for the government of Muhammadu Buhari, in a march which was felt in the Ilorin Metropolis before terminating at the government house. Receiving the letter on behalf of the Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed, the State Head of Service, Haji Zamar Umar, appreciates the good gesture of the workers towards the APC-led federal government and by extension the Kwara State government, led by Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed. He solicits more support and cooperation from the unions while promising to deliver the message to the President.
Relationship we've been enjoying since 2003 to date. We have never had a cause to disagree, and even if we disagree to agree. So I want to appreciate you for that, and I want to assure you that the government is not sleeping on its ears. Your problems that have been laid on its table, we are going to look into it,
with dispatch, and very soon, all of us will have smiles on our faces. I want to assure you that the letter I'm receiving on behalf of the governor will be delivered to him for onward delivery to the president.
The union's leadership expressed their satisfaction with President Muhammad Buhari on his mission to curb corruption and provision of solid foundation for a working country.
Yeah, the message is simple. In as much as it's a known fact that the President, General Muhammadu Buhari...
The National Orientation Agency wants the National Archives to preserve the legacies of the late Dan Maria Jos by immortalizing him. Director General of the agency, Mike Mary, made the suggestion when he received members of the North Central Zone of Performing Musician Association of Nigeria in Abuja. NOA spokesman Paul Odenyi said in a statement that the agency pledged support for any plans to immortalize the music legend. Zonal President Piman Sakmachit Solomon had earlier informed the NOA management of plans for a grand concert scheduled for November in honor of Dan Maria Jos in Abuja. You're still watching CoreTV News at 4. We'll take a break now. We're back on more stories. Please stay with us.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth. Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we'll bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have your right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly. They talked to her husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Also, some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man. We don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Thank you for joining us again. For more news and other programs, please visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can follow us on Twitter at CoreTV News NG. Also visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/CoreTV_news. The Nigerian Air Force has been rotating members of its ground forces fighting alongside the troops of the Nigerian Army at the front line in the past 6 months. Spokesman for the Air Force, Dele Alonge, said in a statement that the latest troop rotation is in line with the usual practice. He explained that it was aimed at reinvigorating the minds of the personnel and their commitment to the ongoing fight against the Boko Haram terrorists. The Air Force spokesman also stated that the subsisting troops have been airlifted from the theater of operation of their various units. Lagos State Governor Akil Miambode has urged the members of various labor unions in the state to support the anti-corruption crusade of President Muhammadu Buhari. The governor, who was represented by the Secretary to the state government, Tunji Bello, received the activists to bear on a peaceful rally at the Lagos House, Alausa. He commended the labor unions, consistent members of the Trade Union Congress, National Labor Congress, National Youth Council, and the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, CDHR, for their decision to show solidarity with President Buhari's quest to stem corruption. The state chairman of the TUC, Comrade Hakim Kazim, disclosed that the nationwide rally was taken up to throw their full weight behind President Buhari's anti-corruption campaign. The Osho state workers have thrown their support behind Buhari-led government to drive to wipe out corruption from the Nigerian system. All labor union leaders in the states have unanimously agreed that unless the corruption has been wiped out completely in the society, the nation will remain underdeveloped. Workers in the states have also joined their colleagues across the nation to map out campaign against corrupt practices in the government circle, civil servants, private sector and society in general. The Osun workers equally disagreed with the Osun State Governor, Rauf Aregbesola, whom they expected to clear all the outstanding salaries of workers, but it seems his body language does not indicate his willingness.
The anti-corruption drive of our president is holistic. It's not just financial, it's total. Since our advent here, we have committed ourselves to instilling the spirit of Omoluabi, which means it's good.
The people of Kogi West Senatorial District have handed down a 30-day ultimatum to the state government to address lopsided appointments in the Kogi State University or be prepared for a civil disobedience. They are specifically concerned that nobody from the district is among 4 academics being considered for the position of the Vice Chancellor in spite of having the highest number of professors in the state. Senator Dina Malaye made the position of the senatorial district known at his news conference in Abuja.
We give the Kogi State government 30 days from today to invite us and correct these anomalies. I repeat again, we give the Kogi State government 30 days from today to invite us and ameliorate and correct these anomalies. You know Dino Melaye does not give empty threats. Or we will carry out massive civil disobedience and do all within the law to liberate our people. A stitch in time saves 9. The battle to fight for our rights, even with the last drop of our blood, is a battle of no retreat, no surrender.
The new Controller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Martins Obeshi, has ordered the immediate suspension of inspection of immigration documents by its officers and has also redeployed all chief passport officers nationwide. Inspection of the documents of companies is one of the main functions of immigration and the Directorate of Investigation, Inspection and Enforcement as contained in the extant rules of Nigeria Immigration Service 1953 as amended in 2015, and the objective is to ensure that companies document the actual things they do. Obeshi made this known in his maiden visit to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos on Thursday, stressing that the service has received several complaints of visitations to companies, particularly in Lagos, by the service command under the guise of inspecting companies' documents. He explained that the officers most times carried out their duties in an unprofessional manner, which soiled the image of NIS before the public, stressing that following the complaint, NIS had immediately suspended such inspections until it would produce a new template for the exercise. Obeshi further informed that the service would at any moment from now carry out a comprehensive evaluation of its officers vis-a-vis their skills to ensure that they had the capacity to occupy the various offices they are deployed to, while also insisting on professionalism across the board. The popular Poly-Iyagba Road that serves as a major route used by residents and students in Imo State to access the Federal Polytechnic Nekede and Federal University of Technology is now a dead end to motorists. Our correspondent Adibadi Awofeso, who has been monitoring the way at which the road is deteriorating, files on this report.
The popular Poly-Iyagba Road that serves as a major route used by residents and students in the state to access the Federal Polytechnic Nekede and Federal University of Technology is now a dead end to motorists. The people of Nekede for some times now have been lamenting over bad roads. Survey within the community shows that not even one road is good within it. According to the people, they wondered if they are part of the state or not.
It's a disgrace. It's a shame. Okay. It's a shame. Why I say it's a shame is this: we voted a group of people into power. Yes. And it's a disgrace that we are swimming on pool to go wherever we are going. Some days ago, some people are going to Tokyo for industry, something industry. You will be allowed to go to Tokyo. You will be allowed to live, to go and learn what you are going to bring back. Nobody can pass road.
Yeah, we have two federal universities here. This is Futo, this is Naked. These two schools now will attract investors, businessmen to come and invest. We have empty land, we have things that will make business grow here. So because of these roads, if you call someone to come and invest or do some business here, they will tell you that Naked Iagua road, there is no road there. They don't want a situation whereby their motor will spoil or something like that.
Some of them seems not happy with the governor's gesture towards the road. They said it appears their own vote has turned against them.
You don't need to be told what to be done, for Christ's sake. A governor knows his people is traveling left and right. A governor knows there's a road called Futo Road or Opoli Road. If he doesn't come this way, his assistants, his people, commissioners, although we don't have commissioners, we don't have anybody, only governor. He's the commissioner, he's the local government chairman, he's the TC chairman, he is everything. He should know that people are suffering. People are dying. If you put your car on the road, go and come, you lose your car. Tomorrow you are standing for Keke, you enter Keke, they rob you inside the Keke. You enter Okada, they rob you inside Okada. What are we for? Democracy or something else? We are dying, people are dying.
Effort made to get the government's view proves abortive, as none wish to talk on it. With refuge blocking and obstructing the waterways, the road conditions certainly will continue to degenerate on a daily basis. Drastic measures is however required by the government to correct the wrong as soon as possible. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
The Consumer Protection Council deferred the resumption of its investigation into the activities of the digital satellite television, DSTV, earlier scheduled for Thursday, September 10. The decision to adjourn the sit-in was based on a request by MultiChoice Nigeria Limited to have legal representation at the sit-in. The council said in a statement that an 8-man team led by the Pay TV Outfit's Managing Director, John Ugbe, had on Thursday arrived to CPC headquarters in Abuja, where the resumed hearing was scheduled and demanded to appear as a group before the panel. The leader of the investigative panel, who is also the council's Director of Legal Services, Emmanuel Natagwa, declined the move and insisted that the officers appear one after the other. It was on this basis that MultiChoice requested that its officers have legal representation. The panel acceded to the request and pointed out that a new date for the continuation of the hearing into alleged consumer abuses against the company would be communicated to it soon. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry (LCCI) says there will be a further crash in crude oil price, currently trending at a 6-year low of $40 per barrel. Addressing journalists at the press conference in Lagos, LCCI's president, Remi Bello, warned that a crash of oil prices may further heighten the fiscal challenges being experienced in the country. He disclosed that Nigeria's real gross domestic product fell to 2.35% in the second quarter of 2015, compared to 6.54% in the same period last year. The LCCI boss, however, advised that the Central Bank of Nigeria foreign exchange policy should be reviewed urgently to encourage the inflow of autonomous funds into the foreign exchange market. There are strong indications that the injection of over 338 billion naira into the economy by the Central Bank of Nigeria in the form of Workers' Assistance Scheme for the state, popularly known as bailout, would help to boost the country's gross domestic product as cash-strapped workers across the country make up for lost time by increasing spending. The bailout, which began last week, will, according to analysts, result in the reflation of the economy by improving money supply, increase household spending, and help to reverse the slowdown in economic activities nationwide. Analysts believe that apart from the central objective of reducing suffering and improving the welfare of workers and their families in the affected states, the bailout was one of the core strategies of the Buhari administration to achieve an uptick in economic activity after the slowness precipitated by the pre- and post-election periods. The components of the three-pronged package included the sharing of $2.1 billion by the three tiers of government sourced from liquefied natural gas, processed to the Federation account, the restructuring of state debt services payment by the Debt Management Office, as well as CBN's Special Intervention Fund, a low-interest loan for the sole purpose of paying backlog of salaries. It is further estimated that by the end of this month, all backlogs of salaries nationwide would have been cleared. This is still CoreTV News at 4. We'll take another break. I'll be back with stories from outside Nigeria. Please stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
From New York City to Shanksville, PA, from the White House to baseball stadiums around the nation, America will pause once again Friday to mark the 14th anniversary of the September 11, 2001 terror attacks that killed nearly 3,000 people. The largest ceremony will take place at the National September 11 Memorial and Museum near the site of the World Trade Center's Twin Towers, which were brought down when two hijacked passenger jets slammed into them that day. Families of the victims will gather at the Memorial's Plaza for what has become a tradition of tolling bells, observing moments of silence, and reading the names of those who died. The plaza is reserved for victims' relatives and invited guests for the morning ceremony, but will be open for the public to pay their respects in the afternoon. An estimated 20,000 people flocked to the site last year, the first year the public was able to visit on the anniversary. The Flight 93 National Memorial near Shanksville in western Pennsylvania is marking the completion of its visitor center, which opened to the public on Thursday. At the Pentagon, Secretary of Defense Ash Carter and other officials will join in remembrances for victims' relatives and Pentagon employees. President Obama is scheduled to observe a moment of silence with the First Lady and White House staff on the mansion's South Lawn before visiting Fort Meade in Maryland in recognition of the military's work to protect the country. Moving on, footage has emerged of migrants being thrown bags of food at the Hungarian company at the border with Serbia. An Austrian woman who shot the video said the migrants were being treated like animals and called for European states to open their borders. The emergency director of Human Rights Watch said the migrants were being held like cattle in pens. It comes as Central European states, along with Germany and Luxembourg, are due to meet over the migrant crisis. Germany is pushing a quota system that would oblige EU states to take fixed numbers of new arrivals. The European Commission wants 120,000 additional asylum seekers are yet to be shared out between 28 members, a sharp increase from the previous proposals of 40,000. But the Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland and Slovakia have rejected the proposals. But in recent weeks, tens of thousands of migrants have been desperately trying to flee conflicts in countries like Syria and Libya. Many of them travel through Hungary to Germany, Austria and Sweden, while the EU nations with more liberal asylum laws. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has confirmed that the country's humanitarian flights to Syria carry military equipment as well as humanitarian aid after the US and NATO warned Moscow over its involvement in the Syrian conflict. Russia's Kommersant daily newspaper said earlier on Thursday that Moscow's advanced BTR-A2A armored personnel carriers were among arms supplied to Damascus. Moscow has previously insisted in public that its flights to Syria were only for humanitarian purposes. And in the world of sport. When Rooney has set his sights on stealing the spotlight from Manchester United new boy Anthony Martial, when England's freshly crowned record goal scorer returns to Premier League action in Saturday's clash with bitter rivals Liverpool. Rooney passed Bobby Charlton as England's most prolific marksman when he netted his 50th international goal with a powerful penalty in Tuesday's 2-0 win over Switzerland at Wembley. It was a much-needed jolt of confidence for Rooney, whose only goals in United colours this term have come in a Champions League rout of Club Brugge. The 29-year-old hopes his memorable milestone provides the springboard for a dynamic display against Liverpool at Old Trafford, and ideally an end to his 10-match goalless run in the Premier League that stretches back to April. Manchester United goalkeeper David De Gea has signed a new 4-year contract with the club. The 24-year-old Spain international almost joined Real Madrid on transfer deadline day, but the necessary paperwork was not submitted in time. De Gea's previous contract was set to expire in June 2016, and the new deal includes an option for a further year. And lastly, the Nevada State Athletic Commission has confirmed that Floyd Mayweather did not follow the rules correctly when seeking approval for an intravenous drip before his victory over Manny. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency gave retrospective permission after Mayweather had a drip of saline and vitamins on the eve of his 2 May fight, but the NSAC says only it could approve the drip and not USADA. Pacquiao wants a rematch, according to the AFP news agency. USADA said it granted unbeaten American Mayweather 38 a therapeutic use exemption for the infusion in accordance with NSAC regulations. But that's it, a wrap on CoreTV News at 4 minutes. Thanks for watching. I am Olajumoke Olunatutu. Good afternoon.